Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and a very warm welcome back to the action. We're live in Kidderminster, and it's the partypoker.com Premier League Snooker, brought to you by Matchroom Sport and live on Sky Sports. Well, it's the 25-second shot clock, and our referee is Mr. Paul Collier. It's time now to meet our players. Would you please welcome, from Chatterings, where he's known as the Gentleman, Joe Perry!
Good to see you, Joe. Interesting game tonight because you're there, you're in the semi-finals, but the win will guarantee you top spot. So I asked Stephen the same question. He didn't have one. Do you have a game plan?
No, just try and win. It'd be lovely to finish the league sitting proudly at the top, and hopefully that will give me a bit of a boost going into next week. This
is obviously the Premier League snooker. You won the league below, if you like, the Championship snooker to get here, which you've got. You're playing over days and days. You're playing hundreds of frames, and well done for winning that. And now you're at the top of the Premier League, or second in the Premier League. You must have enjoyed the journey you've been on so far.
Yeah, I've loved it. Yeah, sometimes we're starved of proper match play snooker, and it's just given us the opportunity to play week in, week out, top quality snooker, and I think it's benefiting us all. It's definitely benefited me.
Yeah, Mark's played so well in the Premier League. It's obviously benefited him as well. A very tough match tonight. What's your record like against Mark Selby?
I'm not 100% sure. I did actually. We played in the final of the Championship of snooker, and I can also recall him giving me a whooping in the World Championship a few years ago. So, one apiece. See who gets on tonight.
So it's a game of revenge. Is that what you're saying?
If I win, it is. If it's not, then we're still mates.
Okay. Best luck. Should be a great game. Joe Perry, everyone. And Joe's opponent is Mark Selby.
Ladies and gentlemen, would you please welcome, he's top of the league, it's Mark Selby!
Big game tonight. You're currently top spot. If you lose, you drop down to second. You've been sort of top for most of the Premier League. Will you be gutted if you don't finish the Premier League season top?
Obviously, I'll be a little bit gutted because, with this being my debut season, to go on and finish top of the Premier League first year in it will obviously be a great achievement for me. But also at the same time, probably not too downhearted because obviously I got through to the semi-final at my first attempt.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 4 times champion, or 4 times recent champion in the Premier League, defending champion. If you win tonight, that means you avoid him. Is that even more incentive to win tonight's game?
Yeah, I think so. It would be great to obviously go on and win the Premier League and play somebody like obviously Ronnie's class in the final, and obviously go on and beat Ronnie in the final as well, which will be great. So yeah, it's a little bit of an incentive for tonight.
First season in the Premier League, obviously, we've touched on that a few times. Have you noticed a change in your normal ranking game, if you like, outside the Premier League? Has your normal game changed because you're playing week in, week out, top-class opponents?
I don't think it's changed as far as the way I play the game, but like Joe says, obviously it's great practice for us both. Can't get no better practice than playing in this week in, week out. So obviously going into all the other snooker tournaments on the calendar, it's obviously a big boost for us in front of everybody else.
And how are you feeling? You fancy chances?
Yeah, I'm feeling good, but we'll see how it goes.
Okay, we haven't had a maximum yet, although we've come close twice, which in theory means third time lucky. So, are you going to do it?
I don't know. You better speak to Joe about that one.
Okay, maybe. Let's fingers crossed, everyone. Mark Selby. Good luck, Mark. Let's join our commentators for our last match this evening. Mike Hallett, and first up, it's Clive Everton.
Top place at stake.
You won the toss match.
If Mark Selby wins or draws, he'll be top. But if Joe Perry wins, then he will take top place.
Joe Perry to break.
And whoever does finish top would play Stephen Hendry in the semi-finals, with the second place finisher playing Ronnie O'Sullivan. Go on, you tell me, Mike, who would you rather play? O'Sullivan or Hendry, and you're not allowed to say neither.
Well, it's difficult, you know. I mean, Ronnie's got through to the last 4. By his own admission, he's struggled a little bit. He's played well on 2 or 3 occasions. He's happy to be there. I think the way these two boys have improved over the last 12-18 months, it's going to be very difficult for whoever play them. And Stephen delighted to be there, of course. But yeah, you know, if you come up against Ronnie and he's on it, he's on form, he's a handful, isn't he? But you don't know when you get down to the semi-finals. You know, Stephen played very well, as just mentioned, in Bahrain, and he's played quite well over the last couple of weeks to qualify for the semi-final spot. And the last 4 next week will be very interesting indeed.
One thing's for certain, neither of these players would be overruled about playing anyone, whoever they met in the semi-finals.
Yeah, absolutely. Can't see it. Good opening red.
1.
Good pot. Cue ball nicely guided through other reds.
These two players, of course, both debutantes in this league, and they would love to lift the trophy. I'm sure Joe would be too happy with that shot. I'm not too sure what he played on there.
3.
He snookered himself on things to the left corner. There is one just left of the pink which will cut back. Should have been a little bit easier than this. Wow, the white's close to the middle.
Joe Perry 3. Foul. Mark Selby 4.
Well, it was a bad positional shot from the yellow.
Yes, it left that thin cut. I think the problem was that Perry ended up in the end with the shot clock already started to beat, playing the pot a little bit hastily, and he lost position on the red because of that.
Well, Mark having to play a plant here. Well played. Couldn't guarantee where the white was going to finish. Oh, look at that. Yeah, just put his hand up there to Joe Perry. He's a little bit fortunate to finish there, but you know, you take them when they come around.
A positional fluke. And they can be every bit as important as fluked pots.
8. 9.
'Nicely controlled cannon there. Just drop this in and stay on the black.
16.
Can't take these for granted though.
17.
Just for 1 minute there, thought that was going to stay up.
Twenty-four. 25.
Oh, yellow ball off the side cushion for the red, right of the bunch.
28.
As I mentioned early on, Clyde, these two boys, the first year in the league, and they really have adapted themselves, haven't they? Especially to the shot clock.
Well, they couldn't have played much better. Selby has won 4, drawn 1.
33.
Perry has won 4, lost 1.
A
couple of important title defences looming up for Mark Selby. The Masters at Wembley in January and the Welsh Open in February.
Yes, the qualifiers have just finished for that, haven't they, this week? And it's young Judd Trump, actually,
41.
has come through, the victor there, to take his place at Wembley in January. That's great for him. Congratulations to him. We wanted a little bit more on the cue ball. Only the black available. This is not guaranteed.
Is this where the frame turns? Or does Selby pop the black and go on to win the frame at this visit?
It's all the way. Well, he was expecting a cannon there to hold the white descent of the table. But an excellent pop.
49.
Well,
yes, he was expecting a cannon.
What's the chances of finding that gap again?
If you tried.
No, Jude, if you can pop this one in. Great shot. Oh, it's unlucky.
50.
He might be on the pink. He's definitely not on the black. You can't see that one. But can he see the pink? Yes, he can get through to it. Well, that was a bonus because he did definitely play on the black there. Doesn't matter.
56. $57. 62.
Oh, this is frame ball coming up.
So the loss of position isn't all that serious.
No, he can still afford to take the black on into the centre as we watch the replay. Just call that other red on the way through. Didn't intend that, but he'll take the black on to the centre. Don't think so.
Mark Selby, 63.
Well, a good 63 from Mark. Should be enough. Joe needs 2 snookers here. Surprised me. I thought he might have taken that one on.
Well, maybe didn't fancy it. Didn't want to give Perry a chance to take a few red blacks and put him under a bit of pressure. But yeah, could say that was a pretty conservative choice of shot.
Yes, wanted to keep him sat in his chair. Now then, can he see this one? He's playing the left-hand one, and if the bird goes in, it's definitely an opening frame to mark. Well played. Once he got in, he looked pretty solid.
Yes, Selby has made a habit in the Premier League of getting out of the traps pretty swiftly.
It's not very often you see a bad performance from him these days. He's so consistent.
Yes, that's certainly true.
4.
The self-belief is there in everything that he does. He works hard, plays hard.
And if he's not quite at his peak, he's still pretty formidable. Unquestionably, one of the game's top players now.
Well, I'm sure within a couple of seasons, you'll want the top spot as well.
$11.
Currently ranked 4th. Played in a tournament in Moscow at the weekend. Lost to Ding 4-2 in the semi-finals.
16.
John Higgins beat Ding 5-0 in the final.
17.
Russia may well be one of snooker's next great growth areas. It's a big place, Russia. A lot of cues and tables to be sold there.
22.
Yeah, I think the finals weekend of that event is March, something like that. Again in Moscow.
24.
In the Kremlin, indeed.
Yep. 24 on the frame, Mark.
So largely through a 63 break, Mark Selby takes the opening frame and leads Joe Perry by a frame to 0. To get into the playoffs.
Second frame, Mark Selby to break.
Yes, of course, this match is all about position, as we've already mentioned. 1 plays 4, 2 plays 3 in the semi-finals next weekend.
I don't think either player will be giving sort of too much thought to who he'll be playing in the playoffs. I think that they both just simply like to get down there, play to win each frame they play, and see what it looks like at the end of the evening. Tricky shot that, just overcut. Awkward angle. The red that he attempted ran safe, but that one was sitting waiting.
Nice little controlled cannon there.
Eight. 9.
Still 2 open reds, but he might choose to split a few more. A lot of power. Oh, steady, steady. Now then, does this red go to the green pocket? He could have played on an easier one, as we watch
16.
the replay. Has he covered this red? Well, that was a little unlucky, if he has. Because he had choices there.
Joe Perry 16.
Well, Mark could do with a touching ball. It's not. Mark able to get the cue ball back to the top cushion, but there's a little tempter here to the right middle. Not easy, tucked under this top cushion.
It looks an awful lot easier on screen than it will look from behind the cue.
Now there's Mark attempting to cut this one back into the left centre. Ooh, not quite thin enough. And I think he's left the same red on. Again, slightly awkward cueing over the back of the pocket there. Well, that's not a great positional shot, although I think he's just landed straight on the blue. Little fortunate that, because he's got a trace of side on the cue ball, and the white should have been just up and down the table. But this should be okay. Yes, well played. Again, a little fortunate to finish on it, but you take advantage.
Six. Seven.
Might just choose to hit the side of the pack here. It's gone in full-blooded. Hang on, where's the red? Oh,
Foul.
unlucky.
Joe Perry 7. Mark Selby 7.
Well, I'm not sure whether that was on. It could have been. If it was, that was a poor shot. On the other hand, you can hit the other side of the coin. It's unlucky. Might cost him this frame.
One.
Well, if that was on, he should have looked at it. Well, that wasn't the best positional shot either. I think Mark was intending to just come through the gap there.
The cannon is inevitable, but it was pretty well controlled coming through the second red.
Yes, he's got the right side of the blue, although albeit it's on the side cushion. Just needs to just drop this in, really. Well played. Again, a touch far. In fact, the blue went into the corner of the pocket. And again, he might be cannon into
14.
red or pink here. Again, a nicely
15.
controlled cannon there to put the pink onto the centre.
22.
Played quite well in the opening frame, Mark, but that 63. The way you put that one together, you might expect him to win this second frame from here. Still one or two awkward reds though. Well, he won't be too happy with that positional shot.
29.
Slightly awkward one to the centre. Still got one to the yellow pocket. Just had a quick look at the shot clock as well. It's counting down. Ah.
Mark
Yes,
Selby,
it was a
29.
poor positional shot from the black.
Yes, and it's a pretty narrow angle shot on the rescue red.
Red, I think, to the right centre. Oh, it went to the corner. Great pot. I'm sure Joe happy to get another chance here.
Oh,
Joe Perry 1.
inexcusable.
Well, absolutely after the red as well, but the only bonus he's got there that the black has come across and just left it awkward queuing for the red that Mark would have taken to the centre. Instead, he's playing a safety hit. I don't think he's playing the cross double. He has, he's gone for the double. Sometimes you can leave them on. That's okay.
Well, meant to be a shot to nothing, but because he missed the pot on the thin side, there was still a lot of speed on the cue ball.
One. Six. Seven.
That could be the awkward one. I don't think the one on the back cushion is a problem. He's getting behind it with a good angle, but it's an acute angle to the centre pocket. Is he trying to nudge it? Definitely trying to nudge that towards the middle there. Still got the one nearest the
12.
pink.
Oh, that was unlucky. That was another attempt to nudge the red.
13.
Had he done so, would have been on blue for sure.
Yeah, he took a slight risk there, didn't he? And didn't come off. And he's finished nowhere.
Very little room round the back of that red, so that was unlucky.
Attempted snooker.
Joe Perry 13.
Mark could try and get in behind the black here, send the red up the table. Well, just elected to push the red up the table to the cushion. Or to play for, of course, in this second frame. 2 points, so 2 reds left, just 1 point in it. It's a possible pot on the red, but it's not easy. Well, Mark not interested. What a great shot that is. Just dropping the white in behind the green. Good touch. Pretty easy to hit though. Got to be careful, doesn't hit the underside of this red and leave the other one on. Oh, he's played it dead weight. Mark will just play thin off this one, bring the white down the table. Looking for a snooker behind the blue. It looks pretty good.
If it's not a snooker, it's still pretty awkward.
Yes, Joe coming off the side cushion. Dead weight. Looks good. Well, I say good, it's just bounced and this red is on now. Didn't have much angle to get beyond the bullet line with the cue ball, but he's got the brown to the centre. Can hold for the final red. Well played. Well, if you can pop this one in, there's not an awkward ball on the table, really. Might just stun this in and come down for the blue. Elected to stay on the brown. Didn't really matter. He's got the green as well. What a chance this is to make it 2-0.
Not quite low enough to get directly from yellow to green.
9.
Yeah, it's got options here to send the white around the table. I think he might just drop this yellow in. There's a chance of cannon into the black, which he doesn't want to do. Oh, is he going around the table? I think so. Oh, he's under hit it. That's not hard enough.
11.
He needs at least another couple of feet on the cue ball. This might just give Joe half a chance here. But if he can drop this green in and stay on the brown, he might not even take the pot on. He's 10 the lead. He needs green, brown and blue. I'm surprised he didn't just drop the yellow in there.
No attempt at the pot.
Mark Selby, 11.
Good chance missed though. Pretty good. Oh, this is awkward. If he plays green up and down, it could be a double kiss here. Well, he did get the double kiss, but he's got away with it. But he's lost control of the table. That's the problem. He might find himself in trouble after this shot. The white will be down here behind the black. Well, it should have been.
Cut it too thin.
He's got a slight angle on this green as well. I'm right behind the shot here. And this is a great chance for Joe. Can he just stun this in, come off the cushion? Get on himself on the brown. Oh, he's able to roll it in. Yes, enough angle. He's gone too far on the brown, and if this is fairly straight, I'm not sure whether he can get on the blue to the left corner. This is a tough shot to get position on the blue. Oh, there you go.
7.
Yeah, just too much pace on the green. Don't think he'll play the pot here. Possible safety. Can't guarantee to be on the pink. Well, he went for the pot.
Joe Perry, 7.
Yeah, I think he did, Mike. I was a bit surprised by that, but he certainly got a decent cue ball.
Yeah, might give him the benefit on that one. I thought if he's going to play the safety, Clive, he would have hit it on the thin side. Anyway, again, everything to play for in this second frame.
Couldn't do much with that. Chance for Perry to play a more creative safety.
Well, blue behind the black spot here, white down the table would be fine. Even behind the black would be okay. Oh, nearly. That's pretty good. Mike's got to avoid the black here with the blue. It depends which way he plays it. Could come off it thin. Got to be careful. Just attempted to push the blue to the side cushion. Is it going in? It might be now. I think he can see this. Or can he? Body language from Joe Perry says he might be snookered. He might have to swerve around the pink here. Just needs to hit this. It's bound to go in. Bit aside. What about the white? Didn't want the wobble.
5.
But now he only needs the pink.
From distance, though.
I think he'll have a go at this.
Yeah, the Perry, 5.
Problem was, when he swerved around the pink, he just wanted a thinnish contact on the blue to avoid that green pocket. He would have been this end of the table on the pink. So this second frame yet to be decided.
Perry needing one of the remaining colours, Selby needing both.
Short of pace. He might have a go at this. Cut it back. This is frame ball. What about the cue ball? He doesn't want that white in the pocket.
Foul. Mark
Well,
Selby, 6.
That's changed matters dramatically. Selby needs only this simple pink to middle to clinch a 2-0 lead.
I don't know whether Joe looked fully committed on that pink there, Clive. It's cost him the frame.
6. And the frame, Mark
It sure has. Mark Selby leads Joe Perry by 2 frames to 0. He needs only one of the last 4 to be sure of finishing top. In the first match of the evening.
Well, I'm sure Joe will be a little bit annoyed with himself for that pink again. Don't think he looked totally committed to it. I tried to float it in, but anyway, he's got a bit to do here.
Yeah, whether he was fully committed or not, he was a bit unlucky to go in off in the corner and leave Selby such a simple frame ball.
Good red there, though.
1.
Brown to the centre. black only available to one corner pocket.
Five.
Mark's got too much angle on this red, so he'll come back for the blue or one of the bulk colours. Great pot, great position. Oh, now then, if he gets himself on the red just below the black, that would be fine as we watch the replay. Struck that beautifully. Wants to get rid of the red nearest the black. Obviously goes. Plenty of room. And now has given him even more
12.
room to manoeuvre the cue ball around the black spot. That's where these boys like to be, on the highest value of colour.
$19.
Well, that was certainly a good thought. Opening out more reds and retaining position on the black.
What I could have done with a touch more side on the cue ball there. Wanted that white a little further up the table. Still one on, but he's going into things here. A little cannon on red and pink. Should finish on the blue. Or the black, or the pink.
28.
Nicely played. Now, has that red just gone far enough? The one there, the brown, actually go into the brown pocket. Which one is he thinking of playing on here? I think the one down the table. Oh, he definitely goes to the yellow pocket, of course. I'll tell you what, Clive, this line has improved so much over the last couple of seasons, hasn't it? You know, he gets half a chance, he just needs a sniff, and he makes them into full ones now. Very accomplished player.
Looks very confident in his own ability. Delicate respotting task for the referee,
34.
Paul Collier. No spot being available for the pink. Selby certainly
35.
no overnight success. He's been playing pretty well full time since he was 15, 25 now. Didn't want to finish as straight on the yellow as this.
Yeah, does he have the angle to screw directly into them? Or try and get one of these reds on the right hand side. It's gone for the pack. Too much. Oh, we've got to trace the side on the cue ball there. I thought if it just come off normal angle, it would have been on a red to the centre, although it wouldn't have been an easy one. Just to safety now.
Mark Selby, 37.
Well, that was a chance from distance. And this might be 3-0 in a few minutes' time.
Yes, Perry hasn't really got going yet. His highest break thus far is only 16.
He had a couple of chances in the last one to win that one. Didn't take them. Unfortunately, at this game of snooker, that's what you have to do.
Eight. Nine.
Could have done with the cue ball. This red still goes, but could have done with the cue ball coming another 2 or 3 inches to avoid the push shot. Oh, that's clean enough. Always tricky those when you're close to the object ball. Well, this should be 3-0 now.
$18. 19.
'Closing in on the 3-0 lead, which would guarantee him
26.
top place in the league phase of the competition. This is frame ball.
27. Mark Selby, 27.
A surprising miss, but at least Selby leads by 64 with only 59 on the table.
2 snookers required. Oh, that could be a loose one. I don't think he's on the pink. Has he come far enough? Just. Only just. Well, we'll give Joe some chance to get his cue arm going.
7.
Nice to say that you finished at the top of the league, though, in the qualifying section. I don't think Joe has a chance. Well, he has an outside chance, of course, if he wins this one and the remaining frames, but tall order. These two boys already knew that they were already there next week in Norfolk for the semis and the final. Semi-final's the best of 9 frames next week, and the final the best of 11. So let's not forget that Ronnie O'Sullivan's still the defending champion. He's won it for the last 4 years.
15.
Will it be 5 in a row?
Had to pop that to keep his slim hopes of rescuing this frame alive.
We play the cross double.
22.
Or try and lay a snooker. Again, 2 snookers required. I'd like to keep the red on the table, possible free ball situation. Well, this looks pretty good. That looks excellent. I don't think, well, can Mark get through the gap here? He can, you know. He can. That is unbelievable. Another day, it would finish perfect. Finish perfect for Mark, of course, not for Joe. And that's just the other side of the game, Clive, isn't it? You just want that little bit of luck, you know, it finishes behind the yellow or behind the blue. He cannot believe. He thought he'd played a good snooker there, now he's found himself in one. We talk about this game of snooker being fractions, and that was evidence there.
Is it right, Mike, that you once had a bad run that lasted 10 years?
12, actually. Do you know, if I didn't have any bad luck, I wouldn't have had any luck at all. Well, that's you off my Christmas card list, then. That's 118 then, is it? 118, 118.
Meanwhile, Joe Perry continues to pursue the 2 snookers he needs.
Do you know, I had a fluke red in a match last month, Clive. I think things are changing. Might be turning around for me.
I wish I'd been there.
Do you know, I haven't got video evidence either. Again, still an outside chance for Joe in this one. 42 points the difference, 35 on. Will Mark take this red on here? Clinch the frame. Well, he did. Well, again, he's left the red on, but Joe wants to keep the red on the table. Wasn't too far away.
Well, that was the problem. We wanted to thread the red round the yellow.
Yep, just see the left-hand side here, past the blue. Oh well, I don't think it passes the blue, but we'll definitely cut to the centre. Good lay of snooker behind the blue, actually. Yeah, so dropping behind the blue, I think. Easy to hit, but as always, not easy to get safe. Well, you caught the back side of it there. It's not too bad. Nearly got the snooker.
Two snookers needed. Only the slimmest of chances of pulling the frame out of the fire.
Red around the table, in behind the brown. Oh, well. I just wonder if Mark might just attempt the cross double here. He might just had enough of this frame. Let's get it out of the way. Is he going to play the double? No. Waiting for a better chance. Well, if you got any sort of contact on the black there, that would have been a snooker. This is awkward. It's just run on enough. And again, a chance at the pot. Again, I think he'll refuse it.
All he could do there was just to try to leave the red safe. There wasn't a snooker that he could feasibly attempt to play for.
Yeah, it wasn't a great safety shot though. I would have expected Mark to knock that one in.
Had a good chance there of laying a snooker with green and brown so close together, but couldn't quite manage it. But let me recall one of your finest hours, Mike. Deciding frame of the Masters at Wembley. You're 43 3 behind on the green against John Parrott, and you end up winning.
Correct. Nice to have you back on my side.
I say that because you were even further adrift than Joe Perry is in this frame.
Well, this frame is over now.
So Mark Selby is certain to finish top of the league with an unbeaten record.
7.
Came here tonight with 4 wins and a draw. Certain of a draw in this match, but at £1,000 a frame, he'll be very keen to record a win by as wide a margin as possible.
Yep, still possible £6,000 to be played for, isn't it? 3 centuries.
12.
Mark Selby was already guaranteed 26,000. Was earned £26,000
16.
before he came here this evening. Well, this looks good. Great shot.
So,
Mark Selby.
some fruitless playing for snookers from Joe Perry, but it's Mark Selby who takes the frame and leads by 3 frames to 0 with 3 more to play. And by topping the group, it means that Mark Selby will play Stephen Hendry in the semi-finals. Joe Perry will play Ronnie
Frame
O'Sullivan.
4. Mark Selby to break.
Well, a bit of a loose break-off shot. Lucky to cover the one near the centre pocket, but this one down here is available. Well played.
1.
Well, Joe knows the score now, so he's just playing for money, really. And pride, as usual, these boys.
Well, the last thing he wants to do is come all the way from Cambridge to Kidderminster and not earn any money. He hasn't earned any so far this evening. It's £1,000 for each frame won.
Yes, one didn't enjoy a whitewash, would he? Good chance here, though.
Nine. 10. 17. 18.
'Not bad, actually, because finishing low, he could go into the pack,
25.
screw back for the black. Just dropping it in, actually. Still one there.
26.
Will he play on that single red, or will he go into them? Oh, good hit. There's one there. There's one to the left corner. I think there's one to the right centre as well. Caught them well. You can see the white
33.
just arc there. That's the top spin.
$34. 39. $40.
He's got to be careful here because this could go wrong. He'd like to get the cannon on the red, just right of the pink. He's just played on the red, that's okay, but unfortunately with that shot he's going into the other reds now, but has to be careful here. Screw back off them for the black again. Oh, nicely played. He's got them open now.
Chance to earn some fairly serious money here. 1,000 for winning the frame, 1,000 for a century.
55.
It would be Perry's 93rd in competition.
$56. $61. $62.
Well, no reason now that he shouldn't win the frame from here.
$67. $68. $73. $74.
Well, he's taken these well.
81. $82.
If he could make it, it would be Perry's 3rd century in the league.
$88. $89.
Perry came here having earned £21,000 in frame and century break payments of 1,000 each.
$95. $96.
It looks as if this could well be a total clearance. All 15 reds with colours and then the colours in sequence.
$103.
He could make 128, which is on the low side for a total clearance, but he's taken several blues and a couple of low value colours as well.
Yeah, it's been excellent though.
$110.
Has left himself a little bit more to do than he might have done.
$115.
And again, he's left himself with more to do for black ball position than he wanted. So it's no total clearance, but that was a splendidly taken break of 115. It gives Joe Perry the 4th frame, but Mark Selby leads by 3 frames to 1 with 2 to play. 3-3 draw with Ding Junhui.
Well, that should make Joe feel a little better. That was an excellent century there. Pity went in off with the pink. Mind you, he didn't pot the pink anyway, so it doesn't matter, but the main objective, of course, was to get the frame on the board.
In such a high-class field, it's remarkable that Mark Selby, at his first attempt, has come through undefeated. He's only drawn one match so far. He's won 4, and he could well win this.
Absolutely. But he has put himself on a different level, hasn't he, over the last couple of seasons.
I think that applies to Joe Perry also.
Indeed.
A semi-finalist in the World Championship at the Crucible last spring. Up to 12th in the world rankings. Well, that red went quite near the pocket, but I'm not at all sure that he attempted to pot it because there was no colour available.
Well, I didn't want to contact the yellow, but not too bad. Everything on the right hand side is covered. So just a safety here. Try and get the white in behind the yellow on the back cushion. Looks pretty good. Well, a couple of tempters here on the right hand side. Can't guarantee position. Just waiting for a better chance. This looks pretty good. Well, not a bad little nudge on the brown there. He's covered everything on the right hand side, but Joe looking at this red near the blue. He'll take this on. Ooh. It was close, and this red has gone towards the other corner.
Can't get through to it though.
Possible plant, but look at the distance between the two reds. Might not even look at it actually.
Although Selby is certain to finish top of the league and Perry is certain to finish second, I'm sure that this frame and the other frame remaining will be played out with all due seriousness. Selby earned nearly £250,000 in prize money last season. Perry nearly 120,000, but they haven't been earning that kind of money for long enough to regard £1,000 per frame as a complete irrelevance just yet.
Great shot. He committed himself to that possible plant on, which he made, but he knew he was going to collide into other things. Well played.
You just see at the end of this shot that the black gets tied up. Like that.
Yeah, pity. He's got the blue, though. Well, these need sorting out, of course.
Six.
Very close in the middle, but that little knuckle has put in the wrong side of the blue. I thought he might have just tried to nick the black out there, actually. Caught the red nearest the black, but caught a ball. Didn't want to take that risk. But where's the next red coming from? Going to have to go around the table, the cue ball. Well, I think he's still got one to the right centre, actually. There's one to the left corner. I think he can get his cue in there. Have to concentrate on the pink for the time being, but it won't matter how he gets the frame on the board.
$19. $20.
Well, Mark, sitting there happily in the knowledge that he knows he's going to be at the top
26.
of the table after this evening. He knows he'll be playing Stephen Hendry in that semi-final. He's played very well in the league this year, Mark Selby. As has Joe. Hence, 1 and 2.
Yes, Perry won the qualifying competition, the Championship League, and Selby was runner-up. That league starts again in January with 7 groups.
33. $34.
Well, he's the wrong side of the pink here, and I'm not sure if anything goes to the right corner. The one right of the black does, but can he get there? I might have found one, actually. This one might just sneak past the red and black. Oh, he hasn't sugared himself on it, has he?
40.
Well, it won't go. There's nothing there. He's looking at the one possibly near the right cushion. That's the one he's played on. White's close. Well, he's unfortunately though he's put the
Joe Perry 40.
red over the corner. Well, he couldn't guarantee where the white was going to finish there, and he'll be a little bit disappointed that that red has found its way over that corner. Well, that's not a great shot either.
1.
Well, he's nominated yellow.
Mark Selby 1.
Well, that's brought the black into a potable position.
But the white has travelled. He's left this red on. And if he can play this correctly, he could land on the black here. Well, he decided to hit it with power. Too much, really. He could have landed on the black. Now he's only got the pink or the blue. Oh, I think he's taken the pink to the corner here. Oh, he's got a heavy contact. He got a kick there.
Mark Selby 1.
Yes, there was hardly any life left in the cue ball once it had made contact. Oh, we had liftoff.
Oh, Mark did tie up the black. I think Joe tried to nudge it there, but he's on the blue. Yeah, that was an awful contact on the pink, wasn't it? You could see it come off the bed of the table a couple of inches. Well, you cannot legislate for that. It's annoying, you know, it's there.
Seven. Ten. 11.
Well, 54-point lead. This
16.
is frame ball. Might play a little cannon into the red and black here. Can afford to do that. Ah. Oh, didn't want that.
17.
Oh, I'm just saying, I thought he was snookered there, actually, Clive. You can see the pink.
Joe Perry 17.
55 in front, only 51 on. So usually that's enough to guarantee the player who's leading the frame.
Frame conceded, frame Joe Perry.
Selby concedes. So Joe Perry, having been 3-0 down, has reduced that gap to 3-2. Premier League is coming up. And regardless of the outcome of this frame, both players are through to the playoff stages the weekend after next.
Well, obviously it went. Well, at 3-0, it didn't look good for the man from Cambridge, but all of a sudden he's got a chance of pulling something out of the fire here. A point and making it 3 apiece. And an extra £1,000, possible 2,000 if he finishes with a nice century.
At £1,000 per frame and £1,000 per century,
6.
Joe Perry has earned £24,000 so far from the league stages.
7.
Mark Selby has earned £29,000, and that's with the playoffs to come, in which the losing semi-finalists receive £12,500, the runner-up £25,000, and the winner £50,000.
A
bit crowded around the black spot. Well, he knew that he's going to be going into things there. And he's just lost the cue ball.
13.
Unlucky to finish there, though.
Green ball. Joe Perry, 13.
Didn't fancy the yellow, no point really. Difficult to get on the next red. Good safety. Having said that, I think Mark was having a crack at this red to the right corner. No, just a safety. Needed the white to the, well, tight to the cushion. I think he's covered everything to the left centre. Nothing there. He'll just play away safe. All the reds are there if you can get in. Has that just tied the black up? I think it has. Well, again, safety, I think. White to the top cushion. Well, this time there is a red to the left centre, the one just below the pink spot. Don't know whether the Joe will be tempted by that then. No. You want a concrete chance.
I guess, Mike, that Ronnie O'Sullivan would have to be favourite to win a 5th consecutive title in the playoffs. But who do you think's most likely to upset him?
Well, I think this man here, Mark Selby, he's got the game. But you never know. You know, we've got a week or so before those semis and finals come around, and I know Stephen Hendry will be up there practicing for hours, but I think this man has got a chance to lift the title this year. And it would be nice to have a new name on the trophy.
Nice for everybody except O'Sullivan.
You can't discount him, though.
Time out.
Yes, that's the first of his 5 timeouts that Selby has used, and it is the last frame.
Yeah, whatever happens when we go down to Norfolk, we're in for a cracking weekend of snooker.
Yes, I'm looking forward to seeing the venue, which is Potter's Leisure Resort, which is famous for holding international bowls tournaments. Yes, tough red to middle.
Well, he's looking at this red to the left corner. He's trying to get the cannon onto the red nearest the black here. Great shot.
1.
It was, but it's still a tough black.
Yes, he wants to try and get the red away from the black spot. If he can remove that, no problem. The black's in, and he's nudged the red, but is he on one? Well, he's not the one he intended, but he's got the one in the middle of the table, which will go to the corner or the right centre.
8.
Well, I think he's taken this to the green pocket. Is it there? Great shot.
9.
Oh, he's had a look at the brown. He might be colliding into that red, so he's chosen the blue instead.
Time out.
He's got plenty to play with.
Yes, but you're only permitted 3 in any one frame. This is his second in this frame. I think he forgot all about the shot clock there.
No, does he have the angle just to run through onto the black
14.
here, or will he come back for the pink? Downward strike can suggest onto the pink. Oh, well, he concentrated that much on the position.
Mark Selby, 14.
He forgot the pot.
Yes, a rare unforced error from Selby.
1.
So this is a reasonable chance for Perry, and the possibility exists for all 3 matches we've had here this evening. All 3 matches finishing 3-all.
Six. 7.
Yes, I think you might have got good odds on that, Clive, at the beginning of the evening.
14. 15.
Didn't look good for Joe. 3-0 down. Well, it's looking better now.
Yes, at least the spectators who've come to the
22.
Glades at Kidderminster have seen both players play in this match.
23.
They didn't see much of Perry in the first 3 frames.
$30. 31. 38.
Can clinch the frame without needing the awkward one by his bridge hand.
39. $45. 46.
This brown and one more red needed to clinch the frame. The last of the league phase of the competition.
Well, I'm a bit surprised he played it that way. He just wanted that cue ball to travel another couple of inches. Was he on this red? Can he get to the potting angle? Thought he might have played a trace of side on. He's just taking a time out. Just thought he might have played a trace of side in potting that brown. Give himself a narrow angle to play on the right on one of the two, but the extension on the cue suggests that he can see the potting angle on this one. There was just enough room. Excellent pot.
51.
Which leaves Selby needing 2 snookers.
Joe Perry, 51.
Many players would concede when they're needing 2 snookers, but Selby is not one of the game's great conceders.
Well, he might be if this doesn't go in. He needs it. Ah.
$8. Mark Selby, 8.
I'm just swerve around the blue here. Wants to contact cushion first. Great hit. Nicely played.
I think we've got to compliment both players on their professionalism in this second part of the match.
Yes.
Perry was 3-0 down, and okay, it's £1,000 a frame, but it must have been a little bit tempting to throw the towel in. And equally, Selby needing 2 snookers. Well, you know, he's got to get home and all the rest of it. He might have said, well, that's enough, but I think one of the great things about Selby is he really does love to play.
Yeah.
And he gives every shot, every frame, proper professional attention.
Who knows? He could still sneak that extra £1,000. Well, we might see Joe have a go at this one. Well, he's got some angle on this red. Well, that was an attempted pot.
Yes, I'm sure Selby would have conceded had that gone in.
Well, he can see the red.
Yeah, he's got the red where he wanted, but not the cue ball.
this is a good attempt. No, just too strong. Got to be careful here that the red and pink of a plant. Just have a quick look at that. Well, obviously it was. That's why he played it that way. He might have played thin off the red. Didn't want to.
Now I wanted to get the cue ball behind the blue and the red behind the yellow.
Well, he attempted snooker behind the pink. Might have got it behind the blue, actually. Fairly easy to hit. Cushion first. Ooh, well, now then, will he concede?
Foul.
He does.
Four and a foul.
He does. The last match of the league section, Mark Selby and Joe Perry draw 3-3, but both go through to the playoffs.